sit like that.
You know, a little bit big.
I can talk a bit.
Is it working?
I might left.
What about your mic? I think we are live. Yeah, we are live.
We are the same.
We are.
We are.
No. Yep. My mic lift is working. Try with your mic once. That's mic lift, by the way. Your mic is.
So the other one is maybe muted. Not connected.
I don't know. But mic right is there, so.
We'll look at the property. What that is?
It's if it's
Device. Just take the device.
Device.
Yeah, this is the.
Which one?
It's Shure.
Ambient plus. Okay.
One of them. There are two of them.
Microphone Shure.
Yeah.
This one, I guess.
I think so.
Okay. Try with yours once.
1, 2, 1.
That's mine.
That's yours.
That's mine. So properties. 11 Shure.
The first one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Try.
Yeah. Now they are different. You see, when I'm speaking, the right microphone is like pushing harder.
So let's hope it's working.
Okay. I don't need headphones, do I?
No, actually not. If we play some kind of videos, we might need, but now not. So I've already received some comments, but let me welcome you in my channel first. Welcome, guys. So as I promised you guys, so let me share my screen too, if it's visible. What is this mic, right? Webcam lift. Video capture device. Yeah, it's there. It's the Google Chrome. Okay, that screen is being shared. Okay, it's fine. So I think I don't need any kind of screen share right now. So, okay. Hello, guys. Welcome to our channel. Right now, it's our channel. So, yeah, as I promised, we'll be talking about the education systems right now in Germany and in Nepal. So if you guys are interested, so you can comment here. We'll be talking about those kind of topics. And especially my special guest today, it's Michael. Hello, Michael. Welcome to my channel.
Hi.
Welcome to Hungry Minds.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. I guess it's better you give your introduction.
Oh, well, I'm a software engineer at Arkansas, too, the same company where Subas is working at. And yeah, we are very good friends since he came here to Germany. Or to the company.
Yeah, of course.
And yeah, so I know the German education system pretty well.
Okay. Yeah, that's enough for today's video. So, he doesn't know anything about the questions what I'm gonna ask to him. So, yeah, I see comments, but they are a little bit hidden. Let me drop it down first. Okay. So that it's.
So I can see the
same
chat.
So I think you can see that, but you can't understand it properly. So let me start from my questions instead of the comments. So at first, Michael, I want to focus on the schooling and what you guys are focused in school days. If I say about my country in Nepal, so we are focused like to write it, to remember everything and write that in exam, and then after we get the points. Okay, and our education system starts at the age of 3. When we are age of 3, we go to some kind of schools, some kind of Montessori's, and our formal education starts at age of the 3. But I have heard that in Germany, the formal education starts at age of 6. Is it true? Like, can you explain a little bit more about it?
Yeah. Just to tell the thing in first place is we go first to the kindergarten, but that's a different thing, and we start usually going to the first class to preliminary school at the age of 6, 7, just around like that. So yeah, we get early to school.
Okay. So when you are at like primary schools in the class of 5, then what you are focused at? Like only the numbers and alphabets, or you guys focus on other kinds of ECAs like the dancings and all those things during the primary schools. What you guys are focused on?
I think what every pupil will learn in primary school is, of course, some maths, some reading, some little grammatical things, the alphabet, and so on, what you need for the language itself. Then there will be some let's call it basic information, like a little bit of geography, a little bit of biology, but not in that detail what we learn later on in school, but just like, oh, we have rivers, like local rivers, and there are different fishes or something like that kids learn about the country itself.
Okay.
So I think that's mainly it. Sometimes they start even learning English
Okay.
already, but it depends on the school.
So, what is the primary mean of communication, like in English or in German, in schools?
It's of course German.
German. So, is there anything like fine with like in so is there any schools where they strictly teach in English, or it's German everywhere?
There are some maybe specialized schools which teach in a different language, like French schools, for example. Or I know in Düsseldorf, in the north of Germany, there is a school for Japanese pupils. Even German can enter it, and they have kind of a Japanese way of teaching and learning. So it depends on the school. But if I would just look at the majority of German schools, it's the German language, except in the language classes like English and Spanish or Italian, something like that.
Okay, so you have options to learn other languages also instead of instead of English, is it?
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Okay, it's mandatory. So if I talk about my country, like if you don't speak in English in boarding school, in English school, you get a fine of ₹5. You get that means nearly 5 cents in Germany. So you get fine of that amount. So you need to speak English while you are in your boarding schools. So we have our customized way of speaking English. Like we mix our Nepali and English, and we make it Nepanglish.
Nepanglish.
Nepanglish. Yeah. So the next question is like, what about the importance of attendance in your school? Like, do you get fined if you don't go to school or something like that? Or
usually you have to go to school at a certain age. Your parents have to register the child at a certain school. It's mandatory. If you don't go to school, actually, I know when I went to school, the police will come and bring you to school.
Okay.
So it is mandatory that every pupil, every child has to go to school. There's no option actually, like in the US. If you know, there's kind of homeschooling.
Okay.
You can't decide to do homeschooling only. You have to go to school.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have no choice.
Okay, so I mean to say, if you start schooling, like at the age of 6, you start schooling. So after that, in school days, if you just bunk your school, or if you go somewhere else, like in the cinemas or to play some kind of games, like if you bunk the class, then do you get fined for that? My question was that.
That way. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Let me turn on my light.
Yeah.
So it's more better,
Should I turn it on too?
Let me do it for you.
So you get fined in a different way. Not the pupil gets a fine, but the parents.
Okay.
And if it happens another time, and once more, so there will be kind of a problem. I'm not sure whether that happened in the past that often, that you will get kind of a financial fine from the state itself. I'm not sure. I never heard about that, but it's probably going that way. So,
So because like in my country, if you bunk your classes, if somebody find you, then you get fined for that. Or yeah, there were some cases in my college, in my university, like a student went to some kind of cinema hall, and police arrested them. Yeah, and reported to school like your students are here doing this and that. And there was even a case like there was an accident in school uniform, in college uniform, and the college were responsible for that. And after that incident, like they restricted like users, not users, like riders to not wear the school uniforms when they ride. It was like that. So I asked this question to you, like, is there any kind of restrictions here? So yeah.
there is, but not the school is paying the fine or someone else from the education system, but it will go directly to the parents.
Okay.
So the police maybe just asks the kid, but they find of course the data in their system, and they know then who the parents are or who's responsible for that child.
Okay. So do you understand the comments what they are saying? Of course not. Why I'm asking that. So
the last one, school. Yeah, I know that word.
that means they went to river, when instead of the school, they went to rivers and somewhere to bunk the class.
It happens in the past, or it happened. Maybe it sometimes happens today too. But usually it was that way, that the police will be called from, for example, the cinema owner or from employees working there, because if you're just thinking about there is a 10-year-old child or a 12-year-old and going to the cinema like, I don't know, 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. So they will look at you and think, don't you have school? Don't you have some lessons to do?
Yeah, but it was in my college, so after 15 or 16 years, I guess it's allowed. But yeah, so do you have any incident like that? Did you bunk your classes? Do you used to bunk your classes during school days?
Not directly actually, but what happened was I was attending the wrong class. But this happened in high school. I heard in first place that English is not taking place, so I thought about joining my friend in the other class, and then I was sitting like in maths. And in the end, they told me, "Where were you? We had English," and I was like, "What?"
Okay.
So that happened, but I never decided not to go to school.
Yeah. So can you little bit explain about the schooling? Like how does schooling goes in Germany? Like the main thing is that how do you think in schools? Like I need to score this score in exam. That's your target, or to learn something when you go to school. What's your thinking process during the school days and the school process? Can you explain a little bit about that?
Okay. Yeah. Normally, you're learning for the tests. Actually.
Okay. It's same in Germany also. Okay, it's everywhere in the world, I guess.
I think it's the same in the whole world.
Okay.
But usually you're learning for the test. In first place, I don't think that for most pupils learning is that important.
Okay.
I think they feel like they have to learn. Of course, in the preliminary school, it looks like a bit different, because children don't know in that age what it means to learn in something like that. But in middle school or high school, you're learning preliminary with a high priority for the next test.
Only for the test.
Yeah, only for the test, or definitely for the exams to pass them. I think most pupils think that way.
So, how many subjects do you have? Like in school days, how many subjects did you used to have?
Oh, let me think. Let's take high school for example.
Not high school. In schooling, like in your class 4, 5, 6, or something.
Okay. There are like maybe math, German, probably English or French.
Okay.
Who's Erdkunde? let's say 6, 7,
Okay,
maybe
it's
8
it's somehow
subjects.
same. Like in our country, also, it's the same. There used to be like 8 or 9, two mathematics, two English,
Mm-hmm.
two Nepali. Actually, one Nepali, and including that, there will be like grammars and all those things.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of history, there used to be like social,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. So yeah, it's same. So I don't find any difference. Come on, we grew up knowing that Germany has a best education system, Europe has a best education system, including Finland, France,
Mm-hmm.
and we were like, okay, there must be something like great, Otherwise, why would people say like German has a best education system? But I guess you are reading in the comment also, like surprised to hear it's the same in Germany. Okay, okay. So what is the pressure of your parents? Like, do they force you to go to school today? Otherwise, you won't get this, you won't get that, or like during exams, if you get this score, then I'll buy you a bike or something like that. How do your parents see your education? Like,
I don't think they needed to convince me to go to school.
okay, okay, never. Okay.
The thing is, it just started right in the middle of my young life. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was pretty normal in the end.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed to get up on time, prepare everything, go to school.
So
It
if
was like everyday life.
okay, there might be some of your friends like who don't like to come to school or something like that. So do you have any idea how their parents react to that?
Uh, can you ask the question one more time?
You might have some friends
Yeah.
who don't like to come to school,
Oh yeah.
who like to bunk. And so how do their parents react to this? Like, do they force
Ooh,
them or
it differs. It differs on their social stand and what the family is like. Um, Difficult to answer, but I would say, for example, in Turkish families which are living here in Germany, the father is very strict.
okay?
So if they don't do school, probably. I heard it from some Turkish friends that
Okay.
they fear their father. If their father is angry, oh, better go to school because he's not there. But it might be different in maybe poorer families, probably. That kids tend to help, maybe more at home, and I'm not sure, but they are kind of forced to go to school usually because if teachers realize you're not at school, they start to call the
Okay, it's the
parents.
same. It's basically
Yeah.
the same. Okay. So can you read the questions? Like, what is the reason behind tall height of Germans? Okay.
We eat a lot of proteins.
Okay. The all is truly round, yeah, because most of the things in Germany and Nepal is somehow similar. Like, okay.
Yeah.
So in our country, the private universities or private schools, they are so good in compared to public unis, and it's like the subject of reputation when you go to private unis or private schools. Like they I guess they pay nearly 10,000 euros, 20,000 euros to go to private unis or private schools, but the public unis are free, but nobody wants to go there. You know, because of the infrastructures and all those things, and teachers don't come to school in public unis. So how do you see the private and public universities or private and public schools in Germany?
Totally different.
Like, yeah, so can you a little bit explain about that, how you see the private universities in Germany?
Okay, the public system is well known. It's most of them are paid, so everybody can attend a university or public school actually. Private schools, of course, you have to pay for them. But I heard there are some differences because parents are paying. That the kid goes to school, the teachers or the private school needs that money, kind of, of course, and it's probably going that way. That's somehow the people see those schools.
Okay.
Maybe it's the truth. I'm not pretty sure, but I think so too. That they try to push your child forward because parents are paying, so your child must be good somehow in school.
Okay.
So probably they are making the things simpler. That's maybe what most Germans think about private schooling. I think what you actually need is kind of a reputation. If
Okay.
the private school is well known for their good pupils,
Okay.
people might think differently. But I think that's the common view on those private schools. Not the best, because they have to make the parents happy that the
Yeah.
child is good and so on, or doing well. Yeah, so it's probably the other way around. You
Okay.
tend to go to public schools.
So yeah, it's opposite. It's exactly opposite in
Yeah.
our country. And like you can read the comment, like it's the teacher who bunked the classes in public university in Nepal. Teacher bunked the classes, like they have their own some home course to do.
So,
And
so the head teacher will call the teacher.
yeah,
Why
actually,
aren't you in school?
yeah, like their attendance system, they just give the attendance and go to their home. Like that's the case in our country. So like public universities and public schools have the bad reputation.
Yeah,
And I guess it's the public university which makes the country like Germany, and that's the thing I love in Germany. Like public university have different reputations, I guess. So yeah. So if somebody is going to private unis, that's because their education is like their own education is quite bad. So they go to private because they don't get admission in public unis. It's the case in Germany, but it's different in our country. So
yeah, you have that one plus that you can actually attend any university if you have the A level. And what the universities do then is like they test you quite hard. So they say, okay, you can study here, no problem. But if you don't match our results, it doesn't matter to us. So leave the university. So
Okay.
it's hard. It's harder. I think you experience it somehow too, that German universities have quite of hard exams.
Yeah, I experienced it in masters. I don't know about the bachelors and all those things. So the next thing, okay. So you are a computer engineer. So I want to ask you, like, in what age schools start to teach computer science?
If I think at my time at school, I started at the at class 7.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think nowadays it's earlier, maybe at class 5 or 6.
In our case, I studied computer science in class 4.
4.
Yeah. So that's quite good in our country. So,
Nice.
we produce so many computer engineers and supply to other countries.
So how many years do you go to school then? How many classes you have to pass?
Before actual schooling, we go for 3 years. We call it like nursery, JKG, and UKG. The JKG means junior kindergarten, and UKG mean upper or something like senior kindergarten. Okay, and after that, the 10 years of actual schooling starts. And to get out of that school, we need to give the exam called SLC. Now it's called SCE. That SLC means school leaving certificates after 10 years of schooling.
Okay, so you leave school at the age of?
Around 15 or 16.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then after there is like 2 years of education. That's called higher secondary. Okay, and then after we go to actual bachelor's or something like that. So if I calculate all those things, 3 years of kindergarten. Okay, and then after schooling of 10 years, 13 years, 2 years of higher secondary. That would be around 15 years.
Okay, so.
Okay, so what about Germany? How do you see the education system in like schooling all those
you
days?
start in the kindergarten actually at age 3 or 4. Start first class at age 6 or 7.
It's the same. And how many years of schooling do you have?
We have like 2 things because they tried to shorten the years being in school until class 12, and the longer one was like class 13. And you usually end school with the A level.
Okay.
If you want to. So you're like 17, 18, 19 years old in the end. Yeah, if you go to high school. If you go only to middle school, then you're finished with age 16,
Okay.
something like that.
So what is the total education period? Like 3
Like
years of
13,
kindergarten? It's
13 years.
13
actually.
years. After kindergarten, it's 13 year, I guess.
Yeah.
In our country, yes, it's 12 years. So if somebody comes out of the European Union, they need to attend student colleague year to complete 13 years of education. Do you know about that?
About one more.
Student-
I was reading the chat popping up.
Come on, you can understand that. I know that. In our country, it's 12 year of education, after actually schooling. So if somebody comes out of the European Union from Nepal or India, they need to attend student colleague. Okay, to attend actual bachelor's, they need to attend student colleague. So that's the case. Okay, that means they ask us to put the background. Okay, let me add some background. Actually, I was connecting my laptop, but it's fine.
But I can answer maybe some questions I can read in English. How many German students enroll in foreign university every year?
Yeah.
Oh, depends. Depends on the size of the university. I'm just thinking about Karlsruhe University. Oh, let's see. I have just to think about the number, maybe.
Yeah, it's hard. Like,
Yeah, because I know in computer science there are like 700 to 1,000 first semesters each year. That's why they are making pretty hard exams.
Okay, yeah.
So
I faced that.
it's
The German
like,
unis.
It's like 50 to 70% won't pass them.
Yep.
So if we are taking the other subjects, maybe let's say 5,000 at the university, roundabout.
Okay. So hello, brother. Nice to see you in Hungry Bro channel. It's for you. They call me Hungry Bro. Okay, that's nice. Okay. And the good question one, Rod Killboy, thank you for the question. Does marks matter in school in Germany?
Yeah. You have like 1 for as the best mark and 6 as the worst one. 6 is totally failed.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need those marks especially for studies which have kind of an average mark to attend this kind of subject.
Okay.
For example, medicine. If you want to study medicine, you need an average of 1.0 to get a possible place around all the applicants.
Okay.
So that's, for example, pretty hard, but for most subjects you don't need kind of an average, but it's better if you have a better average in the end. Just for application at the universities, you can write an application to companies as well. I don't think marks are that important there.
Okay.
It depends maybe mostly on the person, but they can imagine how good you are in maths, for example. I would expect if there's someone doing computer science or wants to be a computer programmer that he did something in that direction, or maybe he's kind of good in maths. So it's you have a higher chance to be accepted at the company or at the university.
I told you now I have one French friend.
You have one friend. Oh,
Yeah.
that's very.
It's not so bad. Come on. And he's commenting there like, "Hello, Hungry Mind. Why is the French education system bringing such incredible talents to the world?" Thank you for your insights. Okay, let me pick up one good question. Like, in our country, most of the parents wants their children to be either engineer or doctor, and most of the students also want to be that. So, is there any kind of that thing in Germany, like your parents wants to be with the doctor or the engineer or something like that?
Depends on the family.
Okay, depends.
For Germans, it's usually not that important. But if I'm looking at, for example, Jewish families, they tend to do the same. Like Be a lawyer, be a doctor, be an engineer, make good money. But usually you're free to choose what you want to do.
Okay.
There's not that kind of thing of pressure in common. Yeah.
So many good questions are coming in the chat right now, you know. Like, let me pick up one. Okay, it's simple, but you can explain it like in a good way, I guess. So, what is the actual difference between Fachhochschule and university?
Fachhochschule and university.
Yeah.
The university is like pure theoretical. They are focusing on science, scientific evidence, and so on.
Research. Maybe.
I studied at the university and at a Fachhochschule, or just called Hochschule nowadays. So I know exactly what they are like.
Okay.
Yeah, universities are mostly scientific. You have to learn quite a lot, and there is less practical things. I can talk, of course, only at the perspective of computer science. At the Hochschule or University of Applied Science, they try to make them English too, or give them kind of English names. It is kind of 50-50.
Okay.
50% theory, 50% some practical projects.
So it sounds like Fachhochschule is better than universities. If you want to be software engineer, is it?
Yeah, I think so too, because most companies think if you're a computer scientist, you understand those scientific things, scientific papers and so on, but you know your tools as well.
Yeah.
Computer scientist, what is a computer scientist doing? Either research or working in an IT company as an administrator, as a programmer, or engineer in the whole process of developing projects. So, yeah, I think so too, that Hochschule is better for computer scientists if you want to be someone who is really doing big steps in research.
Okay.
I would say the university is a better place for that.
So I can take out the gist that if you want to become an engineer, go to Fachhochschule. If you want to become the scientist or research or something like that, then go to university.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was in the past there was a bigger difference. So people from university tend to say we are better because we have a higher level of research and scientific things.
I still think the same. Because I always thought that the university are far more better than a Fachhochschule, and I used to say that.
Me too. But yeah, I realized people working or learning at the university have a different attitude. They are kind of, we tend to say they have the nose up high, like, oh, we are the best. And that's not at the Hochschule. There the people are more social, maybe. You are not a person in front of your professor. You're a student willing to learn or something like that, and the professor tends to help you more than at the university.
Okay.
Yeah, at the university they like, okay, I made my lesson, I just do my research then. It doesn't matter to me. Most professors. Yeah.
Okay, another question I want to ask you, like, from the long time, but it's quite that kind of question. So, do Asian face racism in Germany? That's the comment Rupjang Malda did. Do Asians face racism in Germany? And I can generalize the question. Like, have you ever seen any kind of this kind of activities where Asians or Africans they are like they get discriminated or something like that in your unis or in your Fachhochschule? Any incidents?
I remember some cases.
Okay.
Usually it's that way that, for example, we have many Chinese students here coming from China.
You know, in our country we call them chinkies.
I think it's and I know it's a very unpleasant question asking about racism, because racism is like everywhere. It's maybe not a common thing, it's more a subtle thing, but it depends on the people you meet. But let's stay at the Chinese people. They tend to be just among themselves. So most of them don't learn German in a good way.
Okay.
They know maybe some German, to go to the supermarket, get some groceries. That's maybe all, but most of the time they are like hanging around their own people. So yeah, there is kind of a racism against different cultures, different people from different countries. Um,
I just
I,
remembered
I,
one thing. Gada, gada, gada.
you, I won't tell anything about that.
Okay.
Sometimes it's maybe just kind of fun, or in a fun way, not in a bad way, because you're doing maybe the same.
Yeah.
Like the British one are talking very, very high and so on. But there are like Indian people, they have a funny accent if we hear them talking in English, and as a computer scientist, I know how many tutorials I have passed
Okay.
in an Indian English dialect.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not kind of mocking, but just look at some English or American movies, then you see what they are displaying the characters like. There is, of course, unfortunately,
Okay.
always
So
kind of
let me
racism.
ask you
It's-
directly. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you see Auslanders coming to Germany for education and settling down here? How do you see it, like from your point of view?
From my point of view, I don't have a problem if they try to learn German. I think that's the most important thing, because I think people are coming to our country. We have to say it that way.
Yeah.
And we expect the people to learn German
Okay.
because they want to stay here. So learn German.
Yeah.
Just fine. We
Don't
we
ask
don't...
questions in English to everyone. Okay. And they comment, oh, the Indian accent. Do it once more, Michael.
Oh, don't think this is good.
He does it so good.
It is not good, jolly sir.
And I can hear them inside my head, sadly. Journey,
I'm
journey,
sorry.
ish, Papa.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, it sounds funny for me, for example. Yeah,
Yeah.
but they can't do anything like that. It's the way they're speaking. Yeah. Yeah, but I don't think I have something against foreigners, because I have different friends.
Okay. If there is any moderator, can you please remove those kind of comments? Yeah, I have some moderators here, but
Yeah.
today there is no one, I guess.
Yeah.
Spammer. Okay.
Of course.
Can I see any other good questions in the comment? Otherwise, I can ask
Yeah,
some
I'm
more.
throughout my coding career, I have learned Python basics. Should I continue from that, or anything suggestion you want to give? It
Do you want to
depends
give
on the field you want to work in. I think Python is mostly used for data science. So data analyzing, data structuring. So I think that would be the field you would probably work in. And I think it's pretty fine. If you know Python, or if you know any kind of programming language, Java, C++, it doesn't matter. The patterns used in other programming languages are similar, often similar. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but it doesn't depend actually.
Yeah.
If you know Python, you like Python, do Python. Do what you like. Find the company you want to work with, and that's fine. Yeah.
And
But just be open to new technologies. Don't focus on only one thing, because otherwise you will maybe like how to say it in English, you will stay old.
Yeah. You're still doing the legacy codes. Okay, I got another good question. We Nepalese love US and Australia in terms of abroad education, foreign education. So is there any kind of preferable things for Germans for pursuing the education in abroad, particular country?
I wouldn't say that actually. For some, of course, some of them are like doing some extra years in the US. There's maybe kind of a partnership between a school in Germany and a school in the US. So you can like go for a year in class 11 or class 12, something like that, and spend a year in the US, like how the schooling is going there. But I don't know that many people who went there.
So how do you see US? Like for us, US is like, okay, dreamland, everybody wants to go there. And like in every year, there is something called EDV, which stands for like Electronic Diversity Visa. And every year there is a lottery system, and 2,000 or 3,000 people go to US every year by the lottery system. And that's one of the way, but most of the people go there for the education and they settle down there. And they see US as a dreamland. So how do Germans see US?
Let me think about that. Because I have a different opinion on that.
Okay.
I think some of the German people think the US is a good country to maybe work in or sometimes live in, but I'm not sure if if there are so many people thinking that way.
What do you think?
It depends on the things you hear from different resources, and we think the Americans are kind of stupid.
Okay,
So-
that's the thing that I wanted to know about.
The thing is, what do you get from the US?
I got the spices, like from you. I think Americans are stupid.
You know those videos from YouTube where they are presenting a map and tell you, okay, just mark where's the US? Oh, Australia. Oh, Europe. Oh, where's Russia? Where's Africa? Oh, you pointed to Africa. What? I think the Americans have kind of a very low common knowledge. Let's take it that way.
Okay.
And I don't think their education system, I mean the normal schools, not universities. I think their education system is kind of low somehow.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, that's
it's the way I heard about Americans themselves. And if you talk to some of them, difficult to say.
okay.
I don't think the Americans have the best education system.
But-
I think the Americans have kind of a system where they support those people who are really good in school.
That's about the Americans. I mean to say American land. How do you see America as tech giants? Like they produce so many products. And there is another question in comment like, where is that question? I forget. Where is that? What are the famous tech products produced in Germany, Dev?
Well, the most famous tech products
Yeah.
produced in Germany.
If I say about like Silicon Valley, there are so many like Facebook and Google, all those things. There is any in Germany?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. The KUKA robots, for example, which are used in the industry and especially in the automobile industry or in different assembly lines and so on. So KUKA is a very well-known name in tech industry. SAP is the biggest European software company. They are selling their what is it called? Management system for automizing company processes, something like that.
Okay.
Um,
Any tech giants like Facebook or like Google that's famous from Germany? Do you know any?
I think Siemens is well known. Maybe Bosch.
Yeah, Bosch. Yeah.
Let me think. Yeah, I think that's it. What I know right now. The automobile industry actually is well known, of course. There's so many things. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's keep it like that.
Okay.
There are some more for sure, but I'm not sure which one to take.
In these things, I guess US is far ahead than any other countries in the world. I think like that, they are the land of the opportunities. everything that we use nowadays, it's actually from US. So we can't call him stupid, but yeah. And somebody commented in the comment section that Americans are poor in history.
Yeah, it's different. It's so difficult to talk about American history. They have different approach. The people came out of Europe because they were mostly, let's say, hunted because of the religion, or they didn't have a chance to start a new life. So they took the opportunity, got onto ships. So I think most people went to America from Europe because they wanted to start a new life. I think that was the main purpose in the past, like the last 200 years.
Okay.
But nowadays it's like, I don't know. If you like the US, then you usually go to the US. That's
Yeah.
okay, but
Go
I
to
don't
US.
I don't like those moral attitudes.
Exactly.
It's
And the security. There's no
Yeah.
security for the life or anything. And
Yeah.
that's the thing I love about Germany, There's
Yeah.
security for everything.
And what I don't like is, if you work, do your job good, you can maybe stay in the company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do it better, like hang in totally, take your time, do the job only for the company, and you will rise up high in a financial manner and different things. But if you work just like that, I think it's the culture thing, or you lose your job, you have to find another one, and that's really quick because
Nowadays, it's
US
going on. Come on. Amazon and
US
Facebook layoffs.
the US is not interested in your education in first place. It's just interested into, do you work
Yeah.
the way I want you, or leave it. I don't care about that. And the US doesn't care about the way you live. They say, find a job, good. If you don't have a job, I don't mind.
Yeah. Actually, our subject was about the education today, but
Yeah.
there,
Oh,
there
I'm
is
sorry.
one question. There is one question. I think we need to address that. How German people think about Nepal. But let me ask you, Lav, if I say Nepal, then what comes in your mind? Don't say Himalayas. Except that.
Except that. I wouldn't actually think of a high-tech country. Let's say it that way
Okay.
first. I would say maybe more of a simple way of life compared to the German way of life.
Yep.
Of course, I would think about the mountains because you're living like close to the mountains or in the mountains itself, like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we don't think in a bad way,
Yeah, but
more in a neutral, maybe positive way, like different culture, maybe very open-hearted or open-minded people, but nothing bad. I cannot think about any bad thing.
Okay.
No, just
Okay.
good things. And yeah, there was this kind of what was his name? He climbed up the Mount Everest as the first human without oxygen or something like that in the 70s. So since then we know something about Nepal, but nothing special in detail.
Yeah, I asked the same question to one of my friend from Europe, and he told me like that's true actually. Like Nepal is the country that is stuck in 19th century. Like why I told that, like because still we use so old technologies for farming and all those things. We still believes in the thing that is in the past. And houses, they are like still made from clays and all those things. So he told me direct like it's the country that is stuck in the past, like in 90s.
Maybe he was there, I don't know.
So
But
he told me that, yeah.
I wouldn't think that way because I never visited Nepal in my life. But I hope in future. Yeah, so I wouldn't think in a bad way like that. But of course, not in a high-tech way, more in a simple way of life.
Okay, so there is another question, but it was not supposed to be asked today because the main theme was education, but we can address it. It's so fun to address this kind of comments. So, is economy status of Germany stable? How Russia-Ukraine war affected it? Like in Nepal, it has faced poor liquidity and foreign reserves are very low. It's same in Germany, but I guess Michael can explain it more better than me.
That's a very let's say a very difficult political question. It depends. I can just tell you my opinion on that thing. If Europe is doing this, if Europe is still supporting the Ukraine, the war will enlarge. It will like stay longer that way. We will have war maybe for months. I don't know. And as long as as long as the war doesn't end, I think Europe will face a very, very, very big problem. Maybe
Yeah.
deindustrialization. Energy problems. This is
Yeah.
a very, very big topic at the moment. And I'm wondering that people are not that much thinking about to protest against those prices. It must really hurt them in their pockets.
Yep.
They have to lose a lot of money until they maybe get up and see, hey, what you are doing is really bad. Normally, and the Germans have hard past, let's say it that way.
Yeah.
We weren't the best, but we were like forced to go into war into the in the past. So normally after the war we were like more pacifists. We don't like war. We don't want to go into war. So what they are scaring at the moment with is we maybe need to go into war, but we won't. We don't want the Ukraine to lose at the moment. To let them lose the war.
Yeah.
And that's wrong, because actually we are like doing things against our way of thinking about war. We don't want to support war. We don't want to deliver weapons to countries who wage war, actually. This was the thing.
Yeah.
But the politics is totally different, and I think if it goes that way for months,
Okay, come on, man.
I see it in a very bad way.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, like kind of hard to realize those kind of things. And I have heard that there is something like subsidies war. Germany is like one of the finest country in European Union. It has a little bit upper hand, and it's giving subsidies to its citizens, like to us also. We got like 300 euro subsidies, I guess, for this energy crisis,
One time.
One time.
They were
But
like, oh, high prices. Oh, let's give you some money to ease that pain.
yeah.
But at least what they did is like, we gave you the 300 euros. It depends on the company, which pays your salary.
Yeah.
But I guess for most people it went that way. The state gave you 300 euros more.
300 euros for this winter, so I guess that's good enough.
Yeah, but you had to pay taxes, so it's like a 50% cutoff. So what you get at least is like 150 euros.
But at least you got that. Other European Union countries can't give that.
What does it matter if the inflation is getting up high?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the subsidies were going on European Union. So let's leave that topic right now because that's too vast.
I want just to say one sentence. One last sentence. Germany is destroying itself with that war going that way, and if Germany falls, the European Union will fall.
Exactly.
Because everything is like depending on the German industry.
Exactly. That's the problem. And there's another good thing from Rod Kilboy there. Adolf Hitler. Let's not talk about it, but I think we can discuss a little bit about this, okay? Adolf Hitler has been represented as a bad character type person over the world. Is it the same in Germany, or there is different perspective about him? We are going so
It's a totally different topic, but I
Yeah,
don't
we can
mind.
talk about it. That's the live thing,
I don't mind to answer that question.
Okay.
The thing is, after the war, the Germans were mostly supported from the West. So what the West, especially the US, decided to do is like to present Adolf Hitler in a bad way, not in a neutral perspective, but to tell the people he was bad. War is always bad. It doesn't matter who's leading the country. It's
Exactly.
always bad. And Adolf Hitler is a well-known person, but people usually think about him in a bad way, of course.
Yep.
Because it's like told in schools, Hitler was a bad guy, Hitler started the war, but
Yep.
nobody is really analyzing the things properly. But let's keep it like that. The winner of the war decides the way you have to think.
Yeah, we said the same. There's
Yeah.
always upper hand from the winners to decide who was right and who was wrong. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the way. So that's another good question. Like I love the question from these guys now today. So how do German government support tech startups? And there is any provision for new businesses?
Yeah.
Like if there's a new startups?
As far as I know, I read something about that. I don't know, 2 years ago maybe. It depends on the city, it depends on the federal state, and it depends on the German state. But usually they are supported with kind of some provisions. Yeah, they get some money to keep it up, but usually they are looking for supporters, for companies which might support their vision.
Angel investors.
Yeah. But you maybe get kind of a starting money, but not that much that would keep you safe for, let's say, 2 years. You have to get up yourself, find some investors,
Okay.
some stakeholders probably.
Quite bad today.
And yeah, but there are some supports from the state. Yeah.
Okay, so if I want to start the startup, me,
Yeah.
as a person, so do they ask my idea there, or just give me some kind of funds, or how does it work? If you have
That's
any idea,
actually a very good question. I think
because for some companies, it's your idea is always a secret. You can't tell it to the random guy because other guy can implement it in a way. Yeah.
yeah,
So
I think in the first place, your vision is important for the investors. That's the first thing. You have to look for someone paying you money that you could realize your vision. Yeah, like the guys we had today in the company.
yeah, exactly.
There are different contests where startups can present their ideas. And there is maybe kind of what is it called? Entrepreneurship. From universities, for example, they support your ideas too. And I think, yeah, it has something to do with your idea, and they need maybe to know kind of a roadmap. Let's say it like that, to know where you want to go, where do you define the end or the beginning of a running company. But usually you are supported, but how much and in what way, it's very difficult to tell.
Okay, so I guess we need to get back to our topic for today. Yeah,
We are losing the scope.
there are some good questions over here. Like, are Asians competitive? How do you say Asians? Like, say it like in sub sentence.
Asians competitive? You mean like Asian companies, Asian tech startups?
Asians people, like us, are we competitive?
Actually, I would say yes.
Yeah, that's would be like.
But you have a very good position. If I'm looking at China, I think that's the major Asian country with about people talk most. Yeah, you totally are. Even though our newspapers or our news in general tell something different, like China is not there yet. China is way better now than
Way better. Like
way better.
they can rule all, man.
But they want to keep China a little bit low here. I think
They want, but they can't.
that's the thing. If there is someone looking at Chinese industry, at the Chinese tech startups, at Alibaba, what they started like,
We even
and
don't know
so
the
on.
technologies, man. Come on, WeChat things, those kind of things. Like they have the replacement for every other technology that we use, like for Facebook, for WhatsApp, for everything.
Yeah. So no, I think they are very much competitive, and it's dangerous for the Western countries.
Yeah.
Let's call it like that.
So they try to hide it.
Western countries try to destroy competitors, actually, but in a way of reputation. Yeah, they are not that good. The products are cheap. Look at those glasses. Oh, at those glasses, and something like that. They want to tell you China is not that good.
Okay.
Just in a simple way. Yeah.
Okay, nice thing, Rupsangomala. But Roadkill Boy, Roadkill Boy, like that question is so general, so generic, like. But you can say, I think Michael can say something about that. What is the scope of choosing science as a major subject in Germany? It's so generic, so I ignored it. By the way, sorry.
What's the scope of choosing
Yeah,
science as a major subject in Germany?
It's not. It's so generic. Like what science? Computer science, like biology, like physics. What science? So it was not so concrete. So I didn't ask it. But yeah, if you are studying science, that's so good. But yeah.
You have this kind of choice in high school somehow, so you can decide if you want to make biology your major subject, or physics, chemistry, or something like that. It's I think it's interest. It's driven by your own interest. If you're, for example, very good in chemistry and you like chemistry very much, maybe you want to do something like study chemistry or something like that. So yeah, I think that's the main scope to take some of those major sciences.
Okay, let me get back to my question now, because finally our query is enough like for this one. So after schooling, there is like 2 years of higher education in our country. Is there something different in Germany?
Years of higher education.
Like higher education, higher secondary education. Actually, we call it higher secondary education, and there's 2 years of higher secondary education.
Is it leading to an A level, or
I think A level.
or is it afterwards?
Afterwards, actually.
So you make your A level and then you go to schools of higher education.
We don't call it A level. It's schooling for us for 10 years of schooling. So it's different in Germany and Nepal. So before bachelor's, actually, what do you study before bachelor's?
Before bachelor's,
Yeah.
I was doing high school. I was passing the exam for the A level. That's mandatory for studying at the university. If you want to study at a Hochschule, you can choose to go to a Berufskolleg.
What is that?
This is let's call it college.
Okay. Oh yeah.
It's not high school. Let's call it college. I know college in English is something different.
No, college. We call it college.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought college is kind of Hochschule, like studying subjects.
Yeah, it's not subjects, but we call the institution a college or campus.
Okay, because I don't want to say college in the American way, for example, because colleges are like Hochschule. You can go to a university or you can go to a college after high school, as far as I know.
It's same. Okay.
Okay, but in Germany it's different. Berufskolleg, let's call it college, is like you don't have to finish high school in, let's say let's say it that way. You can finish Berufskolleg with around 2 years after doing the middle school. If you're going from a middle school to a high school, you have like 3 years for the A level then. So you get a higher grade of education after a college, but not the A level, the highest grade. And you can study at those Hochschule, for example, those more practical universities. Yeah, that's another way you
So,
can do it.
what options do you have? Like, we have science, management, something called humanities, education, something like that in our high school. So, what options do you have?
We have like, I guess, 4 or 5 different high school directions. There is the general high school, so starting from class 5 to class 12 or 13, yeah, which teaches you all the subjects, but nothing so deep or so special. Then we have those high schools called Berufsgymnasium.
Okay.
So they are like
Gymnasium.
focusing on different profiles, which tend to be used in different companies or have a kind of a special subject.
Okay.
Like, that's what you call humanities, for example.
Yeah.
There's a Berufsgymnasium for technical subjects. So there you can learn like IT, UI and UX, design, something like that in a technical way, technical things and management, working with metal and electronics, something like that. It depends which profile you choose. I chose the IT thing.
Nice. But I guess your dream was to be a doctor or something like that?
I didn't want to be a doctor, actually.
Okay.
You mean the medical doctor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I forgot that in English the doctor title is called PhD. In Germany, it's just called doctor.
Medical doctors.
Yeah, so medical doctor. Yeah, I wanted to start to study medicine because I like medicine so much. I have quite a knowledge about different topics. I like to watch some videos. Maybe sometimes there are surgery videos for learning and something like that. It's interesting. I'm very interested in that topic, but I didn't have a very good average, which was average mark, which was needed for studying medicine.
Okay.
Human medicine, of course.
It's similar here. So if your score is low and if you want to study medicine, then how can you?
I can tell you that the places for students at the universities are kind of managed from a central system.
Okay.
So you apply for medicine, choose like five universities. I'm talking here.
Talk to the camera, come on. Yeah, talk to this. You're talking to that? Okay.
Yeah, because I see you there.
Okay.
So yeah, you take your favorite 5 universities where you want to study medicine. And I remember that I was applying there and got a result for that application.
Okay.
And they are told you via mail.
Okay, you don't need to give any kind of entrance examination or something like that?
No, you can just apply.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
Into the system.
Okay.
It depends on the documents you send with the application.
That means if you get good grades in your examination, that's enough.
Not really. I will tell you some more.
Okay.
So I applied.
Okay.
So I was waiting for the mail, and they told me, okay, we have like 2,061 places for medical students.
Okay.
There were like 30,000 applicants from Germany.
Okay.
And I was positioned at place 15,000 something. Yeah. So I would need to have to wait for 5 years to get a safe place, because if you apply each semester again, you'll get a higher score, because they want to pass you the place. Yeah,
Okay.
the position. You will be passed forward. But what you can do is like take a medical exam, where you are tested with your knowledge. Maybe you're very good, so you get additional scoring. Or you are working as an paramedic, for example, so you get another additional scoring. So if you want to study medicine, you have to try to work in that direction very briefly.
Okay, there
Yeah.
isn't any kind of private universities teaching medicine?
Yeah, I think so. But I don't know any. Because the universities you mostly hear of are Heidelberg, Hamburg, München, Munich.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, those well-known universities for human medicine. Yeah, but
If
even
I have
though
the-
if you have a perfect average,
Okay, like what is the
Okay.
perfect average?
1-0,
Okay, that's the perfect score, okay?
that's the perfect score.
That's not the average, that's the perfect score.
Yeah, but I have to tell you that even though you have a perfect score, it doesn't mean that you're a very good doctor in the end.
Yeah, of course.
It's not that way. It's not working that way. And that's why we have doctors who can learn quite good, do their job, but maybe they're totally not interested into the patients.
So,
yeah.
let me say about my country, how it works. Like after plus two, it doesn't matter how much you score in plus two. There is one entrance examination for medical.
Okay.
You know, like there's some like 100 or 200 score. I don't know. I don't give the medical exam, so you need to get high score in that to get scholarship. If you get scholarship, then you can study medicine in like 14,000 euros or something like that. You can complete your education if you get scholarship. That's the amount, you know, like, and you need to have a good grades and good rank in that examination, entrance examination for medicine. And if you can't pass that, or if you like don't get in the rank in that examination, in the entrance examination, you can study in private schools or private universities. We say it private colleges. Okay, so the amount that we need to pay in those kind of university is like 60,000 euros to 90,000 euros.
So
You know?
we are here at the topic. How much do you need to pay for your
Exactly,
education?
but I guess in university, in German universities, it's around free. I guess, is it?
You just pay kind of an
Semester.
administratory amount.
Yeah,
it's
semester
like
contributions.
160 euros
Scabba.
each semester, but then you're free to study.
And the applicants would be the same, I guess, in our country also. The demand would be like of 2,000,
Yeah.
and the supply would be of like 30,000 and 40,000.
But there is a little difference.
Yeah.
This is the amount you have to pay if you're living or studied in Germany. If there's a foreigner who wants to study at a German university, you have to pay more, but it's not that much as you told me. For example, I heard that you have to pay like $10,000 in the US to study for one semester only.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here it would be like 2,000 to 4,000 euros,
Yeah.
probably.
And Rocket Boy, why Germany? For Nepalese students, he just said, and I just said, look at the fee difference, man. Come on. To be engineer in my country, the minimum fee would be around 6,000 to 7,000 euros. That's the minimum fee. You know, in Germany, if you study for like 8 semester, multiply it with like 200 euros per semester. Come on, that's the fee. That's one of the reasons that we Nepalese student or we Asians come to Germany. The one is like fee, and next is traveling. Come on, Europe is a beautiful like continent. We can travel here without any visa. If you have like one visa for Germany, we can travel anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is also one of the reasons.
I would just say studying in Germany is, maybe compared to different Western countries, pretty cheap. Let's call it maybe that way.
Too cheap.
Yeah, so that's one thing. The other thing is our universities are pretty good.
Yep.
damn good. I know that.
Okay, you agree that.
It was really hard to study here, and I'm not the perfect student, but I somehow managed to pass all the exams.
And you completed your master's. That's the big deal for me, you know?
Yeah,
Because
I
I
completed
couldn't.
my master's.
But the thing is, I studied in university, not the Fakakschule. Okay?
Well, I went through both.
Okay, unless you get full scholarship, starting here, it's just meh. Yeah, actually. Can I look? No. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know. This is- Come back. Welcome me. Come on. Hey. Yeah.
You know, welcome to the show. Bad words will be blurred. Bad people also.
Okay.
Everything's fine. No.
Yeah. So Udan Nebula, there is a rank system, but it depends on the entrance examination, not your plus two or high school like percentage. Okay, so that's the difference. So you get decided by one examination, one entrance examination.
As far as I know, the Chinese have even a different opinion on that. Some Chinese told me that China is paying their tuition fee in Germany, but they expect them to come back after their studies.
Oh,
So you can decide even you want to study on your own, or the Chinese government will pay for their things. And yeah.
Rodkill boy, don't spam. Come on, we are not going to answer that question.
What's his salary?
Okay, this man is getting out of hand. Udan Nebula, Japanese hacked camera. Do you know why he said that?
We're in a German IT company, Japanese hackers.
Do you know why he said that?
No, I don't know.
Okay, come on. And for your information, Udan Nebula, Michael is like big fan of Japanese animes and Japanese cultures, you know. Yeah. Yep. So can you say something? Come on, Michael.
Something in Japanese.
Yep.
Dame.
That's all.
Dame, kite kore.
And I guess most of the Europeans are like they love Japanese cultures. Is it?
What do you mean? I'm
Like-
not sure right now.
So how do Europeans see Japan? Like,
Japan?
Yeah.
Oh well. That's maybe kind of a funny thing. If the people don't know the Japanese people.
Okay, Udan Nebula, what's your profile? He challenges us like recognize my profile pictures.
Germany got destroyed by Japan in football.
Okay.
I didn't see that game, so I don't know. I only heard that they lost 2-1. Yeah, that's all I know.
Nani?
So I don't know the way they played. Like, I'm sorry.
We don't watch football.
Well, I like to watch football sometimes.
Really? You like?
World Cup, but you know.
Have you watched any football this year? And by the way, Europe, most of the Europeans boycott this
They
World Cup.
do it all the way like that, but I think it's the wrong way. What I mean here is that we take sports and do political things and not sport things.
Ohio.
And Ohio.
Germany 11-0 Costa Rica. What is that?
What?
It's just like random comments.
I would be surprised by that
Yeah.
result. What I want to say is sports get more and more into political discussions, and I think it's bad.
That thing.
It's about sports, even though it's maybe not right in a political way. That depends on the perspective and so on. So, you know, if I would see it from a political perspective, I would say we are boycotting the World Cup, but we are getting oil from them. We are like trading with them, and they are the good guys. So
Man, you like. Come on, leave it.
leave it.
That was not our topic, by the way.
Yeah.
So we went to. Gaurav, we will answer this question like next time when I am alone in my life. Not now, okay? So if you have any confusion about German education system or any kind of things like that, then you can ask. But Yeah, we'll talk about these things later in another live, maybe. Okay. So, Michael.
Yes.
So, like, what was my next question? Let me see first.
Ich habe auch eine ähnliche Meinung.
Yeah. So you told me that you started your computer science classes in class 7.
Yes.
So what did you study for the first time in computer science? Like, was it a programming language?
No.
If I ask you, like, what is computer, then what would you say?
I would say, it's like 17 to 20 years ago.
Yay, you are quite old. Okay.
What did you say? Yeah, so it was like mostly how to work with a computer, not the programming language. Not the programming language at all. I started learning things about IT, computer science theory, and so on in high school.
Okay, that's the difference in Nepal.
Yeah,
I learned HTML in class 7, QBasic in class 8, and QBasic till class 10. If you know what does QBasic mean.
I know.
Yeah,
But the thing is, it changed nowadays, so it's different. It's not the thing like in my time. It was like 2002, 2003. I went to class 7. So yeah, what was very important that time: Word, Excel, PowerPoint, how to work with a computer, and so on. So yeah, they changed that already. So you're starting to attend real good computer science classes nowadays.
Who Aaron Yeager is, of course, he knows, man. He's a fan of that. Okay, and Udan Nepal. Udan Nepal, right? Oh no, the nostalgia. Like whoever studies the computer, and if we ask him, like, what is computer? Then it's the common answer, and they say it so fast. Like, it's a joke. Computer is electronic machine that process, like something that it takes input, process it, and gives the output, or something like that. Everybody knows it. And it gives you 2 marks, in examination. Always.
I don't think most people would understand it in that way. It's kind of a description of a black box.
Yeah.
Just using the word computing or calculating.
Yeah, like if you ask anyone in Nepal, like studying computer, that would be a common answer. Yep. So, do you know Aaron Yeager? Who is Aaron Yeager? Do you like his ideology?
I think it's fun. But how would the German describe a computer? I guess most depends on the person you're asking this question, but I would think they would say it's a machine where software runs on, maybe which you can use for playing computer games, search the internet, and
actually, I asked about Aaron Yeager.
Eren Yeager.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shingeki no Kyojin, isn't it?
What is that?
Shingeki no Kyojin is Attack on Titan.
Okay. I only know Attack on Titan, so.
Now you lost.
Oh. Now you're coming into your mood, man. We have Among Us, yeah. We to have.
Science faculty and look, it's my first time learning HTML.
Dai means brother for you.
Okay.
Dai means brother.
HTML. Oh, jeez.
When did you learn HTML, by the way?
When I did learn HTML. Let me think.
In which class?
I think in university.
Okay, really?
Yeah, because it's not a programming language.
Okay, it's markup language.
It's a markup language. The first programming language I learned was C++.
Yeah, I learned that in my university. I learned the first language I learned was QBasic. Yeah, and we used to print that star that pyramid star in QBasic. Yep. So what?
I think it doesn't depend which language you start on programming any kind of software.
Okay.
It's good if you do it like that.
Yeah, Mikasa is love, of course. C is. Yeah. So like in our class 9, we had to submit a website, like that MarQ thing. If you know what does MarQ means, that's kind of animation like that thing. websites, like in website, the
like
old
in
websites.
old days websites.
Yeah. And we used to
Like
we used to
20,
create that.
25 years ago, it must blink.
Yeah, it used to move like this. So we used to create those kind of website in my class 9th, I guess class 9. If I remember class 9, and I used to make those website for my friend also.
Ah, so good, so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, those were the time, man. Come on. Yeah. So yeah, there are some questions, but I guess Michael,
Yeah.
I think you need to leave sooner, I guess. Do you want to leave or you want
No,
to continue?
actually, it's fine.
Do you want to like talk more, or
We can talk. I don't have a problem with that.
because you told me you had to leave a little bit earlier? What did you-
Yeah, I was like thinking about that, but it's no problem in the end.
Yeah, but we can do it later on.
Yeah, of
You
course.
have that
We
option
can
also.
talk maybe like at least half an hour more.
Okay, really? Okay, nice.
Why not?
But we can continue
I
it.
like it right now.
Yeah. You know, like the I went live for like 4 hours last Saturday, not last Saturday, that previous Saturday. For 4 hours, I went live for 4 hours because it's always fun, to talk with them. Had interesting conversations, but I had to study accounts. Yeah, it's like that. It's like that. So let's come to our bachelor's days, okay? So how does internships and those things goes in your bachelor's, or let's say practicanting, or yeah, something like that?
So how we do study to get the bachelor's degree?
No,
That's what you mean?
no, your practicanting, your internships.
Ah,
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the practicum in German? Yeah. Internship. Well, usually it's like half a year working in a company. It must be an IT company, of course. If you're studying computer science, I think
Yeah.
that's common sense. Is he currently working? You don't see my hands. Of course, I'm working. No. Yeah, usually you work in an IT company and they show you how they use their tools, what are their workflows like, and you get to know what it is like to be maybe a software developer, maybe an IT administrator. Depends on the field you were applying to. So, yeah, it's half a year working in a company.
So how do
Getting
you
experience.
find the companies? Like, do they approach you? Do they come to the universities, or you have to approach them? How does it work for the internships?
For internships, you usually apply for at the company you want to work in. So you choose your company, you make the choice, but you have to apply to. You have a kind of a limited time, like you want to apply for next semester's internship, let's call it that way. And the University of Applied Sciences, for example, just says, okay, but you have to tell us which company it is until the 15th of February, for example, if you want to do it in the summer semester. Yeah, something like that. So you have a limit. You have to tell your university that you're doing an internship. If there is something demanded in your studies. Yeah, so fine. But you usually apply for.
So it's quite different in my country. If you find internships, then that's fine. Otherwise, your colleges, your university promises, like you will get the internships anyway in the final, like like
so they are kind of choosing you.
Yeah, they would find internships for us. Like my friend got the internship opportunity like that. So that's the initial promises that colleges do. Okay, do you understand what I mean? Like when you go to the private universities for admissions, they promise you that okay, we'll find you a job after you complete your education. It's like that.
It sounds like the companies are kind of supporting those private institutions.
In a way.
Yeah, they expect them to get those employees.
And do you know how much do they get, like initial salary?
Oh, I don't think it's
Like
very less.
Take a guess. Take a guess.
How much they get
Yeah, per month.
per month in Europe?
Yeah, you can guess in euro.
Yeah, so maybe 5 to 10,000 euro.
5 to 10,000 euro per month?
Maybe per semester, but yeah, I would...
No, they would get per month like 100 to 200 euros.
Okay, that's
the initial salary, you know, like, okay, damn, Germans are smart.
no. I was like thinking about the institution, about the private institution, what it gets money for, the amount of
Okay, they get, no, I mean to say
Yeah.
like the salary of what the
salary.
salary.
So the salary of the new employees
Yeah.
beginning there.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that would be different. Totally different. Nobody would get that much money.
Yeah, of course.
Even not in Germany.
I thought you would say like 1,000 or 500 euro, but it's not like that. They
Yeah.
get around 100 to 200 euros. Like I also worked for like 100 euros for like 6 months.
I can tell you, I got during my internship something like 450 euros.
I guess that's the common thing in Germany, and you don't need to
Yeah.
work more. But it's different for us.
Nothing like maniac. I'm sorry.
You haven't known him, man. His reaction was nice. Okay. Yeah, he's German. Okay, I wanted to know like that thing. Like, how does internships goes in Germany? Because I don't know how does it work, you know. But in my country, like companies approach universities, and like if you have some good employees or not good employees, genius students in your universities, just give us. You know, we'll pay him the good amount or something like that. It works like that. But I started to internship. I started to do internships like in 4th semester or something like that. I found it myself, by the way.
Yeah, but
So-
what they maybe do, there are some events
Mm-hmm.
at universities.
Yeah, in
yeah.
a way that also.
So they are like presenting themselves. Oh, we are such a good, great company.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to work here, just apply.
Oh yeah, in a way that.
Something like that. So they make kind of advertisements
Mm-hmm.
for themselves.
Yeah, and the thing is like some private companies fund those kind of colleges also. Like there is one company named F1 Soft in my country, which is like a big giant company, and yeah, it controls one college, I guess. I forgot the name of the college. Was it Samazik? No, Swastik College, I guess. But it has renamed, maybe, I don't know. So it works like that. The private companies fund the universities or colleges, and then after, if some good students comes to that university or college, they get hired after some time. It works like that.
Okay, completely different.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the good part in our country, you know, for technical field. Like so,
Yeah,
that's
No, it's not going the way like that.
okay. There is a question. Why do Germans like perfectionism? Oh my god,
Why do Germans like perfectionism?
is it? Michael?
If it's the right company or the right way, it depends, actually. If you like to work, if you like your job or something like that, so you get kind of dedicated to it. So you want to make a good job. You want to make things great. So yeah, if you find that kind of company where you think I want to do some more than only working there, it's maybe the company of your dreams. Let's call it like that. So yeah, you will try to be perfect.
Yeah. There's another question like, can you tell your highest salary in Nepal before leaving for Germany? Kati थियो salary? So it was not that high. I have already told you it was in between the 5,000 to 1,000 euro. But yeah, don't take me as a limit. There's limitless opportunities in Nepal also. And the last guest I called in this channel, he's working for TopTal. And as he told you, he earns around $40 per hour. So just take a note like how much he earns. You know, just by sitting in your own country, you can earn that amount. So yeah, take motivation like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe just to give you a hint about the salary, but don't misunderstand the amount of euros, because it depends where you're living. In Germany, you have to pay like very high taxes. So even though you earn a lot, you lose probably the half of it.
Exactly.
So, for example, as an software developer, software engineer, depends on the company, depends on the place, you can earn like between 45 to 60,000 or more. Depends on your position, depends on your experience. Per year, of course. It's not
Okay.
a monthly salary, so we would earn more than Switzerland.
Michael,
Ja.
there's a comment for you from Hard Rocker TV. Can you read that? I don't understand it.
Ich finde es super, mehr zu verdienen, aber weniger zu besitzen.
Does he want
It's
to
like perfectly summarizing the current political ideology. Let's call it that way.
Does
Yeah.
damn, it's near to 4,000
I like it so much to earn a lot of money, but to have less in the end.
Less vinegar means less.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, fine.
to have less in possession.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, I don't own a Lamborghini. I'm sorry.
But he own a car.
Yes.
We can say that.
Yeah, I own a car, but it's not a Lamborghini or a sports car.
Let's not reveal that brand also. Okay. I guess yeah, that's for now. I have so many other questions also, but I think we need to end this live session for now. Hi, Michael. Asim Dahal. Okay. Do you remember Asim?
Yeah, I remember him.
Okay, alles good. Yeah, alles good. And by the way, should I say it or not? Okay, let's leave it for now. Okay, Asim came at the end of the live. So, Michael.
That's good.
So we're at the end of this Subhastai question for you. I want to work as a Rup. I can answer that question in next live. For now, I am planning to end this live session. Yeah, I guess I'll be live on Saturday or Sunday. If there is no any other guest, then I think I'll be streaming alone. Okay, so I will answer those questions. Don't worry. So okay, Michael, any message for my subscribers? Watches of Hungry Mind. Yeah, we will
Just
talk about these topics. I guess later on.
We can talk about different subjects.
Yep.
I like to talk.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, or to have discussions, smart discussions for that. Bye bye, and yeah, it's fine. It's very very great for me to get to know you, to participate in this stream. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I hope maybe I will stream with Subhas more often.
Okay, sure, you can.
Who knows? But it was fun being here and trying to answer your questions and give kind of a little perspective how the education system is working in Germany.
Okay, I guess that's all for today. I will answer Gaurav Khanal's question because he's like a little bit desperate about this. Dai for CSIT out of Valley ma government college पाउँछु Valley ma private out of Valley पढ्यो भने opportunities career मा निकै फरक पर्छ if I do hard work my skills out of Valley मा बसेरै it might. So what I would suggest to you is like you can study out of Valley, but after some semesters you can go to Capital, and yeah, you can take a transfer certificate also. After some time, if you find that you will do good in your career in that field, then you can take transfer certificate also. That's the option, because some of my friends, they used to study in some other parts of the country like Biratnagar or somewhere, and after 4th or 5th semester they take a transfer certificate and they study in another university. But of course you can give exam from anywhere in the world, not world but anywhere in the Nepal. So yeah, you can try out that option, or we can talk about this topic later on also. Okay, so that is my suggestion. You can study out of the Valley if it's cheap. Yeah, but if you think like you can do better in Capital, then yeah, you can go to Capital also. Okay, guys, good night. It's already 11 in our country. 11 or 12? 11, yeah. So good night. See you in another stream. Michael, you can also say goodbye.
Bye bye.